actor that was in Enterprise. Qapla, everyone, and welcome to Sinema Saturday, aka Star Trek Saturday, for Saturday, February 22nd, 2020, 02222020. Yes, everybody. And why do I have a feeling like nobody can hear me? I shouldn't feel that. But I have this uneasy feeling that nobody can hear me. Okay, you can. You can. Good. Good. Welcome, everybody. So, 47 Yorktown was early and calls an early first. Yes, you were early, sir. And he says Star Trek 12, The Wrath of John Harrison. Thomas Potts says hi. Hector says hola. Hola, Hector. Shronmore says greetings, Birdo Prey, Mamo Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. Dan23 says, annoys me that they use the actor who was in Enterprise, and I'm kind of confused who that might be. John DeMarco says, hello there, welcome, John. Hector says, Into Darkness, it's a trip into Kuroga. No, it's not a trip into Kuroga. It's a trip into darkness. A Section 31 con mismatch of tribbles and nonsense. Yet, I still kind of like the movie. I have a soft spot. Beam me up. And yes, Joseph Patrick just donated €2 through Super Chat. 2202222. Yes, thank you. And as you can see, the sound is working again on Super Chats, on donations, and new subscribers. So no longer will they sneak past me. Apparently, there was some place I must have randomly clicked in Streamlab to mute the sound. I had no idea that setting would even exist, but it did, and my apologies for the last 2 weeks. We've been going without the sound on those updates and notifications. It's all fixed. All fixed now. So John DeMarco says hello there. I read that. Into Darkness, Trip to Kuroga. Alexander Brooks says hello. Welcome, Alexander. Mike Richards says greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Everybody, Mambo. And Resolute Germ just donated $2 through Super Chats. Can't stay. Just came to pay my respects. Oh, Resolute, thank you so much. You guys don't have to Super Chat and you can't even stay. But, I mean, I like it. I'm not going to say stop doing it, but you don't have to. I guess you guys know that. It's greatly, greatly appreciated, Resolute Germ. And Yosef, too, I believe I thanked you, but I will thank you again. Shromworth is in greetings to Sassy, Chaser of Endorians, Eater of Packlets, Stalker of Klingons, Defiler of Vulcans, and Scourge of Cardassia. Yes, Sassy, the Scourge of Cardassia. You're chasing the little Cardassian children and the voles around. Aberjam says McClunky Aberjam. Actor says, I'm in before Con! Yes. KG313, welcome KG313. It's been a while. Qapla, brother, hope all is well on this beautiful Saturday. It is, well, it's well enough, you know. I mean, we don't need to get into all the details, but it's well enough. Is it beautiful Saturday? It's sunny here. It is nice. It's still a little cold. But I think tomorrow we get back up into the 50s. So it's looking like it might be a good weekend. Actor says, Saturday, you don't sound so sure. I'm sure now. Mike Richards says, sound is 5x5. Thank you. Aberjam says, news just in. No. That is absolute fake lies. That is Anti-Trekker and Mr. Miles with too much time on their hands making up fake news. Tubian says, hail and Qapla, hail Mamo Pray, hail Sassy. Thank you, Tubian. Sassy and Mamo Pray just went outside, but they will hear it when they get back. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Berto Pray, Mamo Pray, Sassy O'Pray, and Felners. Greetings, Sci-Fi Nation. And there was Joseph's super chat with the date 2202202202. John Streets is down with the director. Director Birdo JJ O'Pray 5. Well, that is a tough name. Aberjim says, check out the freak with a wrench. Without a wrench, he is the chosen one. Oh, who doesn't have the wrench? KG. Oh yeah, KG. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. And for those of you who weren't on my stream yesterday, and what happened, I streamed yesterday on the Berto Pray 5X channel because I had released my Wrathacon, my Picard episode 5 review just a couple hours earlier, and it was getting really good traction in the YouTube algorithm for the first few hours, so I didn't want to bother it. But it slowed down overnight, so it's really not a problem at this point. That shouldn't happen often, but it might happen. So that's a good reason to subscribe to Berto Pray 5X if you haven't already. The link for Berto Pray 5X, you can get it on bertopray5.com. There's the link to subscribe to Berto Pray 5X and Mamo Pray, if you're interested. Tubian actually liked Into Darkness. I did too, Tubian. I have a soft spot for this movie. It just should have ended about 45 minutes earlier. Actor said, and his Resolute super chat. Thank you again, Resolute. Actor says, we call it a tartarier. Tartarier? More than just the English word. Shromore says, I can join in this chat. My wife's cousins have returned home. It was great having them visit. Delighted I can stick around for the full live stream. Very cool, Shromore. Actor says, good news, Shromore, indeed. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying greetings to you, Shromore. Oh man, I'm behind on the chat. As Shromore says, free Auntie. Martok was a changeling. Joseph was Into Darkness, favorite movie of Greg and Bob, featuring Alejandro. Oh, jeez. Tubian says, I got a wrench. I made it big time. Me, a moderator. Yes, you are, Tubian. Shromore says, greetings, Sci-Fi Nation. Nobody can ever take that away, Tubian. I mean, I guess I could take it away, but still, you would have been wrenched. Resolute says, bye, everyone. Hopefully I'm back for Sci-Fi Nation tonight. Very cool. Abajam says, Bird hates money. Confirmed. No, Bird loves money. Okay, let's get that straight. Bird loves money. So, if you ever need to know what gift to send Bird, like I told people yesterday, like Samantha did in 2nd grade, cash is king. Cash is king. There's only 2 birthday gifts I really remember from friends. One of them was that, and another one is a story for another time. Peter says, hey, Berto Pray and all. Sci-Fi Nation says, Resolute, take care. John Street says, in the words of Turtistan ruler, Bird. And Turtistan ruler has no say here. 47 Yorktown says, greetings, young sir. 47 Yorktown, you were first. Early first, but first. Peter Quinn says, FFS, still not working, Berto Pray. Gonna install the x86 version of Win 7 tomorrow. You have the x86 version of Windows 7, the 32-bit version. That's the x86 version. Maybe you should try installing the x64 version of Windows 7 so you can take advantage of your 8 gigs of RAM, Peter. If you're going to reinstall Windows, go for the 64-bit, assuming your processor can handle it, which I'm not sure. Joseph says, no hablo español, Hector. Never spoke to him. Peter Quinn says, at least Back to the Future 2 is cheering me up. Well, I'm very happy that something's cheering you up. KG313, Berto Pray. Hey, well enough beats a bad day. In Ohio, gorgeous here, so it's coming your way. Thank you. Thank you. Mama Pray saying, look at the view of the sky. Beautiful blue skies. Yeah, but it's a little cold still. But yeah, it's warming up. Average Jim says, only a Kurogan dictator would deny the sound of his own voice. Fake news. My well-informed backside. I don't know what you're talking about. Actor says, but Alessandro writes the Dear Bops in English. Peter Quinn says, Bird of Prey X. Yes, I have two channels, Peter Quinn. This channel and the Bird of Prey 5 X channel, which is my second channel. Which, granted, doesn't have a lot of content, but it's my backup channel. So yesterday I streamed my Friday night bed life on the backup channel so as to be kind to the review I had uploaded for the algorithm. So if you're not subscribed to Bird of Prey 5X, you can subscribe to Bird of Prey 5X by going to birdofprey5.com, my website, and there'll be a link there that will take you to my main channel, the Bird of Prey 5X channel, and the Mama Pray channel. So you could subscribe to 1, 2, or all 3 if you're so inclined. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, actor Peter Weller, Star Trek credits, Enterprise, Terra Prime. He played the Terra Prime leader, John Frederick Praxton. He also played Admiral Alexander Marcus in Star Trek Into Darkness. Okay. I did not recognize him from Enterprise, but it also doesn't bother me personally. But maybe it will, now that I know. Josh Reed says, with my last breath, Jaloja at all of you. Khan, O Prey 5. Stromworth's Bird of Prey and the chat just discovered that Saturday, September 19th, is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. Yar! What pirate movie would be appropriate for that auspicious day? September 19th? That's quite a long ways off. Yar, a pirate. We'll have to think about it. Sci-Fi Nation says the Wrath of Khan. What? The Wrath of Khan. Bird of Prey, you've been trolling my older videos. I don't understand. The Wrath of Khan vid? You did a Wrath of Khan vid? I think you did. I don't remember offhand. Anyone got the link? Yes, you just here. I will go to birdofprey5.com, and there it says your YouTube channels, and here's the link. I will put it in. It's Bird of Prey 5, Mama Pray 5, and birdofprey5x.com. But here it is. You are absolutely right, Peter. I should just put it in the chat. Bird of Prey 5x channel. There you go. There you go. Anybody who wants to subscribe, please do. Aberjam doesn't care what anyone says. He likes all 3 JJ Trek movies. Well, Aberjam, good for you. Actor says ta-ra-ra-iri-ra like your tutu-ta-ta. Whoa, okay, wow. Shromore says greetings to Actor. Okay, everybody's saying hello. Actor says hard, cold cash makes Bird happy. Well, cash makes Bird happy. Derek McManus says, all hail, Mr. Bird of Prey. Welcome, Derek. I saw you on Junecock's stream last night, or at least on the replay this morning. It was good to see you back, I believe. Thomas is Bird of Prey. Why are you Kurogan so cowardly not to go to JG Twitter account and tell him he's a changeling? Never mind, I answered my own question. Cowards. Shromore says, hail, Kuroga. Hail, Kuroga. Sci-Fi says, all hail, glorious Kuroga and its dear God, its dear leader, God, Emperor Bird of Prey. Thank you. Thank you. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, in this film, on Earth, there's a Kazon-looking ship. Kazon, I know Kazons are from Star Trek Voyager. Well, I hated the Kazons. They were dumbest, ugliest looking aliens I'd ever seen. They were supposed to be like stupid Klingons. Epic Beard says, no habla da Kuroga speak. He de nerd say. Wow. Peter Quinn says, work. The 64-bit of Windows worked well before Bird of Prey. Seems better than this. Well, the 64-bit version of Windows worked well before Bird of Prey. Seems better than this. Well, you should always run the 64-bit version of Windows if you can. Now, I will grant you, Peter, I don't know about Windows 7 because it's so old, I forgot. I honestly don't remember if I was running 64-bit version of 7 or not at the time, but certainly with 8 gigs of RAM, because the 32-bit operating system, you can only use the first 4 gigs of RAM, and honestly not even the full 4 first gigs of RAM. So you're basically wasting half your RAM on a 32-bit operating system. So I would say the 64-bit is essential. Abajam says we have recordings. Bird, don't deny it. No, I do not. Those were fake. Those were faked. And Peter found the link. Thank you, Peter. You put it in yourself. So I just wasted. It's fine. 2 links are better than none. Josh Street says, remember when Bird starts, use Bird'llPray5 if you want Bird to read your comment, and say @Bird'llPray5 5 times fast in front of your PC. In the dark, Sassy will show up at your home. With Mama Prays home cooking. Peter Quinn says Peter Weller was also RoboCop. 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 Oh, that was a Genesis game, a Sega Genesis game called Technocop, which I think was a RoboCop knockoff. John DeMarco says not only was Peter Weller on Enterprise, he was also RoboCop. Yes. Aberdam says @Bird'llPray, but he forgets the 5. So what does the native Korogan language sound like? It's English. Okay, the native Korogan language is English. And there's my link. Aberjam ended Naked Lunch, Peter Quinn. Wow, so we're getting the whole IMDb for this guy. Actors is English, the only language Bird more or less speaks. Well, that's true. That is true. Sci-Fi Ninja goes beep bop. By the way, we are on pause 19 seconds in. Right on the end of the Paramount logo. So get it ready because we're going to start this soon because this is a long movie. This is 2 hours and 12 minutes or so. I don't want to... This is a long movie. I hope I stay awake. Is anybody... Thomas Potts, you're here? Somebody's here? Guy, if I stop talking, you can call. Peter Quinn, alright, Bird of Prey, 4 gigs on 32. Yeah, it sucks. Sci-Fi Nation, Bird of Prey, Peter Quinn, Win has x64. As long as the processor supports it, you don't have to use the x86 version. Win 7, I assume. Cool. Peter says, I will get the x86 version, Sci-Fi Nation, Bird of Prey, no wonder I'm having trouble. No, you don't want the x86 version. You want the 64. I don't know if it's x64, but x64 version. The x86 version is 32-bit. I know it's a higher number than 64, but because it was based on the original x86 processor, which then was the 286, the 386, the 486, and what by all rights should have been called the 586, Intel called the Pentium. And then they just started making up weird numbers. So it's all based on the original x86 architecture, and hence the x86 chip is a 32-bit chip. Actually, there was x86 architecture was that they had 16-bit ones too, but it's the 64-bit version you need, which is not x86. Ungaremus says Peter Weller was not in Star Wars. Well, that's good. Stromwar says, come on, fellow nerds, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, hit the bell for all your Bird of Prey live streams and upload notifications. Joseph says, no worries, he can Skype me, thank you. Peter Quinn says, Bird of Prey, don't know if I can stay for the full movie. It's okay, Peter. I mean, whatever you can, you can. Nobody has to stay for the full movie. You want to just talk, you come here and talk. Sci-Fi Nation says, yes, Bird of Prey, it's x64. Thank you. Thank you. Peter says, okay, so yes, you want x64. Tubian says, Bird of Prey, it's all about the Pentiums. I remember in high school, English class, like, a teacher asked, like, what are new words that didn't exist, like, 10 years ago? And it wasn't me. Some kid said Pentium. And the teacher's like, yes, excellent, Pentium. And wrote it on the board as a word that didn't exist. Actor says maybe the blood of Garfield can revive a lasagna. It's possible. Peter says the probs were when I went wrong when I first installed Windows on this. Well, so you've had problems since Windows has been installed. That could be the reason. Because I saw in your screenshot it was a 32-bit version, and I took note of it. But I assumed there was a reason you had the 32-bit version. Showmo says, remember to switch to live chat if you have not already. I have, although I skipped a few. Oh, Continuum! The Continuum is here. It says, best Trek movie ever made. Really, the Continuum? This Star Trek Into Darkness is the best Trek movie ever made? I like it as a JJ Trek, but it is far, far below Star Treks 2, 4, and 6 of the original movies, and it's, to me, I'd rank it well below most of the Next Generation movies too, but it's still not necessarily a bad movie. It's just not a great Star Trek movie for me. Tubian says, Bird of Prey, all about the Pentium. This is a Weird Al song. That's interesting. Yes, we're good. Hey, Trolita! Welcome, Trolita. I saw Trolita on Doomcock stream last night, too. No poop speech. No poop speech. Tubian says his favorite is The Wrath of Khan. No, you don't have to text me to wake up already. Jesus Christ. We didn't even get started yet. Qapla Trolita. Okay, so if you guys are going to watch along with us, with me, I am paused at 19 seconds. I'm going to hit play in just a minute. Let's see. You got to get this video up. Okay. So we're paused in at 19 seconds. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit play. Now, it's not going to move immediately. There we go, yeah, because it's one screenshot every 10 seconds with like a couple of seconds of fading in and out. But trust me, it should be playing for you at this point. Now, unfortunately, the second frame is just a black screen because there was a big black space between the Paramount logo and the Bad Robot logo. Okay. So we woke up on a Class M planet of Nibiru. The Continuum says, oh, Bird of Prey, you need to change the title of the video. Wait, what's wrong with the title of the video? Into Darkness. Son of a bitch. I see that it hasn't updated, that for some people it's still Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So McCoy says you just stunned our ride. Okay, I will try and edit the video title, even though it should be right. But the movie will play on while I do that. So we got Kirk running from the volcano. He's throwing orders to Spock. I have to get this now. Told the captain it wasn't built for this type of heat. The Prime Directive clearly states he's running through the jungle wearing a disguise. Uhura made a joke. You sure you don't want me to go instead? You know, on YouTube, the title is completely correct. But, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Now it's not. That is totally weird. Star Trek Saturday. Into Darkness. Sinema Saturday. 22 Feb 2020. Star Trek. And Qapla All. Welcome to Sinema Saturday, aka Star Trek Saturday. And today we watch the second JJ film, Star Trek. Spock is surprisingly alive. Into Darkness. Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it. You probably think it's 45 minutes. Too long. I'm not putting in all these sons of bitches. Okay, thank God. Thank God the tag saved, because there was no way. The tags are the worst part of doing videos. And now Kirk and McCoy just jumped off the cliff into the ocean, where the Enterprise is parked under the water for reasons unknown, right? Why isn't the Enterprise just in orbit? They're not going to be able to see the ship in orbit. They could beam down from orbit. Hell, they could beam to Qo'nos. They could certainly beam down from orbit. This is the most ridiculous thing. And then they free dive down, what's that, 100 feet? With no respirator? And when did they turn it? When did they get into wetsuits? Yeah, I know how ridiculous it is to have Starship on the bottom of the ocean. This whole movie is ridiculous. This whole opening is ridiculous. I mean, okay, I understand wanting to save the people from the volcano, but this could have been done from orbit. I mean, you got the greatest transported guy in the entire universe. That was established last movie. Whether it's Scotty or Chekhov, or the combination thereof. Okay. Hopefully the title has updated now. Hopefully the title has updated. Yes, it has. It has for me. It has for me. Okay. Josh Street says it's said DS9. Aberjam says Uhura. Fine, Uhura. Sci-Fi Nation is going live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Wesley says, greetings, birds, turds, and alpacas. Greetings, Wes. Wesley says, how's it going today? It's going well, Wes. Well enough. Let me lower the volume to my ear so it's not yelling and Mama Pray getting some type of headache, probably. Andrew says, cold fusion. There goes physics to cry in the corner. Shromore says, Bird of Prey, Into Darkness, the skies of the DS9 video. This is YouTube not updating. I swear I put in the right title. I saved the title. I saved changes. And it didn't save. And McCoy said that Spock would let Kirk die. He probably would. So Spock is making peace since he's going to die. and there's absolutely no chance for rescue. He's going to be taken to the volcano, sacrificed to the volcano. It was a good run, Spock, but you'll never be back in another Star Trek movie. And now the primitives are worshiping their god, and now they go to see something. And wow, what does he have, a V on his back? Oh, and now they see the great sea serpent rise. And they're going to worship the sea serpent. These are the ugliest aliens I've ever seen. They literally have skin falling off their faces. These would never be sentient humanoids. A ship that can move at 5 billion times the speed of light, it's got to go so slow to get into position to beam Spock out of a volcano? Because why? They need line of sight now? Why do they need line of sight for a transporter? Captain, you let them see our ship. They saw us. Big deal. They're redrawing their whole religion to worship the great starship in the ocean. Oh man, this came so close to making a good-looking ship. But those bulbous warp nacelles. Star Trek. Into Darkness. Wait, I guess I'm a little ahead of where it is on the screen, so I will pause for a second. What's with this? Okay. So, we got this old, let me keep it paused one more second here to catch up. We've got this old, analog alarm clock that the guy's hitting for 5 a.m. Oh, it's a doggy. Hey, lady. London, 2259.55. Are those the same towers from Into Darkness? From that anti-trekker found outside Picard's vineyard? And we got the doctors, and here their hospital beds have no wheels. They're just anti-gravity. If hospital beds can be anti-gravity, why can't wheelchairs? Aww. Aww, she gives her kid a rabbit and takes away, what is that, a cow? I did not disguise it. Peter Quinn says, thanks, Bird of Prey. Thanks, Bird of Prey, if I was falling asleep. I'm not falling asleep. I've been doing nothing but working this whole time, trying to get the title changed and watching. And here's the person who's definitely not Khan saying he can save her. What did you say? Your daughter. I can save her. He says, who are you? I'm definitely not Khan. I don't look anything like Khan. How could I be him? Fuck. An analog, a record player, a vinyl record player. Jesus Christ, they've got tails. They've got tails. Uneventful. It's actually kind of funny. I mean, it's funny but sad. It's sad but funny. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, are you going to stay awake for this one? You were up when I was going to sleep. I took a nap at some point between then. Sci-Fi Nation says, well, people always said track was submarines in space. That's true. They did. That's true. The lesson is don't trust Vulcans. Actor says Bird of Prey, not as ridiculous as freezing cold fusion. Aberjam says Bird of Prey, you forgot the golden rule of Abrams. It looks cool, indeed. Peter is Into Darkness on DVD and MP4. Well, if you have it on MP4 or DVD, we're 15 minutes and 20 seconds in. Josh reads his Bird of Prey. Why does it say Into Turge Geologia Saturday? It doesn't say Into Turge Geologia Saturday. Aberjam says, ooh, hoorah. Bird of Prey. Oh, hoorah. Ahura. What am I saying wrong? Uhura. Lieutenant Uhura. They've taken the Enterprise away from you. They're sending you back to the Academy. What does he do? Repeat class? That makes no sense. They're sending him back to the Academy. You don't comply with the rules. You don't take responsibility for anything. And you don't respect the chair. You know why? Because you're not ready for it. So much for your 5-year mission. London. Khan is extracting his super blood. He's going to give it to the girl. And he's putting a ring in this case. Like, what is that case? Who makes that case? Was that case custom designed for a blood vial and a ring? I mean, is that something you could just buy in the future? The blood case, the blood vial and a ring case? Father just puts some guy's blood into the machine to be pumped through his kid's veins. Did he even ask him if he's got hepatitis? I mean, I guess at this point it doesn't matter. So, guy, I need you to do this. I can save your girl, but you've got to take this ring I'm going to give you, wear it into work, and then put it in a cup of water. That's all I have to do? Yeah, it's all you got to do is put the ring I'm going to give you into a cup of water when you go to work the next day. That's the deal. And if you back out now, I'll kill her. Okay, I can put a ring in a cup of water. Yosef says now they are worshipping the Enterprise the same as we do. Yeah, they're what those aliens are what they think the fans are. But Bird of Prey, you love things that suck because you love Burn. I do not love Burnham. Peter Quinn says, think I'll sleep till setting up tonight. My hips and back are terrible today. Well, feel better, Peter, if you're still here. Feel better. And there goes the giant explosion that destroys an entire building. If they have that type of powerful explosive, why shoot giant photon torpedoes? Why not just shoot rings with cups of water in them? Oh, future ice cube. It's a sphere. John Street says yes. I don't know what you're saying yes to. Wesley, Bird of Prey needs an anti-gravity chair. I do need an anti-gravity chair. And Pike sits down next to him at the bar. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, then Marvel would sure do Professor X's wheelchair. Yeah. John DeMarco says, I'm not Khan, I'm Doctor Strange. An epic beating. Shromore says, logged out and back in. The video title is correct now. Very cool. Yosef says, Bird of Prey, you are behind on your own screenshots. I think I rectified that issue, Yosef. Richie Pools is Bird of Prey, Christian Sinema Saturday. I can hardly wait for AOC Sundays. I would be surprised if AOC still has a job come next year at this time. Looks like they're moving to oust her. Spock's being transferred to the Bradbury. You're going to be my first officer. But I thought he was going back to the academy. How can he be his first officer? Oh, every now and then he can make a good case. Qapla All, Mr. Londell. No, I'm not sleepy, Uncle Remus. If anybody deserves a second chance, it's Jim Kirk. Showmores is Bird of Prey. We will not be counting triples to drift to sleep. No sheep in space. We will be counting triples and drift to sleep. No, I'm not counting triples. I'm not going to have her play a lullaby. Josh reads as Bird of Prey. Is it true we are not having Wednesday DS9 this week due to your wedding with AOC and Burnham? No, that is not true. It's not true. Oh, they just got a page. They got paged. All hands meeting. Peter says chicken. I could go for some chicken. Nobody calls me chicken. Oh, Monday calls you chicken? Epic Beard wants an Orion girl. Fast forward. Peter Quinn says, here's a question. How many times has Marty died, Bird of Prey, before Doc Brown picks him up at the end of the tunnel? I don't think he died. Vulcans cannot lie. Bullshit. Vulcans lie all the time. The truth is he's going to miss him. Admiral Marcus is speaking. By now, some of them has heard what's happened in London. Data archive. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey, I don't care what anyone says. Cumberbatch was the worst choice to play an iconic villain like Khan. He's just a pretty boy. All soy and no testosterone. Zabe Denton Qapla Zabe says, Bird of Prey, come fly with me. Come on, let's fly away. Zabe, with all due respect, I don't mind flying, but there's a lot of people in line. Unless you have someplace you can fly to, like you've got a executive suite in Vegas or something. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Bird of Prey and all. Welcome, Rambling Canuck. Zabe says 22 tribbles, 21 tribbles, 20 tribbles. I'm yawning. 18 tribbles. Joseph says 10 more seconds. You're still behind. Okay. Pausing for 10 more seconds. Kirk is paused as he looks at the disaster area. Okay, now I'm hitting play. And say, what's in the bag? Says, Chris, everything okay over there? And Pike says he's just acclimating to his new position. Got something to say it. Tomorrow's too late. Spit it out, son. Don't be shy. Why the archive, says Kirk. All that information is public record. They want to damage Starfleet. This is just the beginning. In the event of attack, protocol. Senior command. Captains and first officers at Starfleet headquarters, right here in this room. And there goes this weird light. Like, there are no defenses. There's no clear the room. There's no emergency beam out. Okay, so there's Pike going on his communicator saying I need air defense team. Why not just beam everybody out of the building? Certainly the room. The Bradbury has to be in orbit, if not closer. The Bradbury should be able to beam everybody up. And hell, the Enterprise has to be in orbit too, for that matter. But then Kirk wouldn't be able to shoot down Khan's ship. Poor Pike. Always getting injured. Oh, I see. We have warp engines, we have impulse engines, and we have thrusters, but somebody decided to put an air intake jet engine on a spaceship. There you go, Kirk. Outside the box thinking. That was an impressive throw. And that engine's still working somehow. And it's still flying. It's not crashing to the ground. Now he's beaming away. Good thing Kirk could watch him beam away. Otherwise, they wouldn't even have known. Now, let's hope nobody was underneath. And Spock is what? Gonna mind meld with him? For what? To make him feel better? To take his Qapla? Just to feel like what it feels like to die? Like, honestly, don't you have to ask permission to mind meld with somebody? I've got 2 Qaplas now, Jim. Josephs is not pausing. Now you're even more behind with your comments. I did pause. Tubian says vertebrae, Khan Nurian Singh was from India. He shouldn't be white. Yes, I understand. Sci-Fi Nation says yes, vertebrae. Let's have starships fire phasers into a densely populated city center. That always works out well. No, I'm not saying firing phasers. I'm saying beam them out. Beam everyone else out. Peter Quinn says the USS David Bradbury vertebrae, as in the Anther. I don't know what the Anther is. Throne Wars is vertebrae. Can I post a link to my sister-in-law's video? She is covering an Alessandro San song. Of course you can post a link to your sister-in-law's video. Is she married? Either way, you can post the video, Shronmore. Zabe says vertebrae. Robert Meyer Burnett presented an alternate version of the movie. If he had written it, it sounded much more interesting, intelligent, and logical. So, of course, it would have flopped. Mr. Lundell says vertebrae. I think if they call it a ram scoop, it can work in space to scoop up gases for fuel or as a jet intake in the atmosphere. I find that hard to believe that the same engine could be used in either option. Peter Quinn says my mom loves Into Darkness. I don't hate it. I really don't. Joseph says your video is behind on your screenshots. Khan's ship was down on your screen and you were talking about how it's not crashing. Let's see. Okay, Scotty. Yes, huh? You're not gonna like it. Okay, so wait. He's going to one place we just can't go, so wait. If the movie is ahead, he's on Qo'nos, sir. I think we're close enough. He wants to be reinstated and his permission to go after him. Give us a moment. Everybody get the hell out. Is he defecting? I already know what province he's in. Starfleet can't go after him, but I can. What does that mean? All-out war with the Klingons is inevitable, Mr. Kirk. Those are all the Enterprises and some other ships. London was not an archive. Top secret branch designated Section 31. Harrison was a top Section 31 agent. He was the one that talked you into joining Starfleet. Did he ever tell you who talked him into joining? Meaning he did. So how is there an uninhabited province? That doesn't even make sense. We developed a new photon torpedo. It'll be invisible to Klingon sensors. It makes zero sense that you can park on the edge of the neutral zone and then fire photon torpedoes and lock onto his position from a neutral zone, lock onto a position on Qapla. The Klingons aren't going to tell that they've even been shot. He skipped his medical exam. The Enterprise should be ready for launch by the time they arrive. Sci-Fi Nation says, Bird of Prey, another thing that makes no sense. If the meeting is so important and top secret, why are there no shields or around the room and a wide open bay window? Yeah. Number one sci-fi says, Bird of Prey, con! Peter Quinn says, David Bradbury, the author. Peter Quinn, I still don't know who he is, but I appreciate it. Number one sci-fi is Bird of Prey. I have a bad feeling about Admiral Marcus. Yeah. Josh Street says, Red Alert is here. Do we need to watch out for time travelers starting to alternate World War II, or do we need to fire everything we have at Bird of Prey 5 and Karoga? Don't fire at me. Lieutenant Carol Wallace, a.k.a. the hot one. Shomore says, thanks, Bird of Prey. She has a boyfriend, but not married yet. You will have to work fast. Here's the link. That's okay, Shromore. So there's the link to Shromore's sister-in-law. Wait, does she speak the English? You know, it don't even matter. I'm fine. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Okay, I have that saved up, Shromore. I will watch that very soon. Peter Quinn says, and I don't hate Into Darkness either, Bird of Prey. It's pretty good sci-fi film. Sci-Fi Nations and Bird of Prey. Even Bajor has an unoccupied province on DS9 because it was basically unsuitable for anything. I hate that Scotty has this stupid little friend. It's a radioactive catastrophe waiting to happen. It's not what a warp core is supposed to be. There's plenty of straws. Starfleet confiscating his equation. How do you confiscate an equation? This is clearly a military operation. Is that what we are now? I thought we were explorers. Sign for the torpedoes. That's in order. And Scotty resigns. Do you accept my resignation or not? I do. Aw. Midnight's Edge is in the chat. Oh, thank you, because I was a little far behind. Qapla Midnight's Edge. They should confiscate this movie. Welcome. Yeah, they probably should. They should. Where are we? Where did you guys come in? Why are you torturing yourself? Well, see, Midnight's Edge, we started with Star Trek, the motion picture, and we're going to watch every Star Trek movie. And so we're up to here. We got one more week left of the pain, and then we can start going to other movies on Sinema Saturday. We did we did delay the entire JJ Trek by 3 weeks by watching the original Star Wars trilogy in between, and Airplanes 1 and 2. But it's only 5 weeks we could delay. I figured it's time we get it over with. The sooner we're through the movie, the sooner we can move on. Midnight's Ed says, Midnight After Dark says, lol, just kidding. I actually like some parts of Into Darkness, but it goes off the act in the third act. The problem is Khan, basically. There are a lot of problems. But I find it funny. It's not supposed to be funny is the problem. I find it funny is the problem. I'm not going to fall asleep, Hector. Not today, I don't think. He tells Chekhov to put on a red shirt. That's never good. Oh, and then Chekhov does die, but not in the movie. That's spooky. That is spooky. Howdy. Robert Hammer says this movie is worse than Star Trek 5. You see, here's the problem. I kind of like Star Trek 5. I put Star Trek 5 above the motion picture. I know that's sacrilege, but I do. Uncle Remus says, how about some Godzilla movies? We have a lot of movies that are open to us. Peter Quinn says, that's him, Hector. Ray Bradbury. Yeah, poor Chekhov in a red shirt. Poor Chekhov got crushed by his Jeep. His Jeep Grand Cherokee. Betrayed by his Jeep. That's the worst way to go. Number one sci-fi is Bird of Prey. Is Carol Marcus sexy? Is Carol Marcus sexy? Is Karoga the number one nation in the universe? Of course she is. Carol Marcus is damn sexy. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, Carol Marcus is sexy. Number one sci-fi. Red Alerts is the original Dr. Marcus had actual character. Well, I can make up character for both of us. It's okay. Peter Quinn says David Bradbury is a very big sci-fi author. He wrote Fahrenheit 451. Oh, that guy. I've heard of Fahrenheit 451. I haven't read it, but thank you, Peter. Zabe says, yeah, I like Star Trek 5 more than the motion picture too. I do. I don't hate Star Trek 5 by any means. Shrelmore says, Bird of Prey, Carol Marcus is clearly Karogan. Oh, if all Karogan women look like that, we'd be happy. Why do you have 150 lights at eye level? Oh, there, look at that. Look at that specimen of a woman. You startled me. What are you doing aboard this ship? Oh. Spock found out her name. You lied about your identity. We seem to be... Why are we so far different from the screenshots again? Sorry, sir, I don't know what happened. The core overheated. Which one is ahead? Son of a bitch, this never happened before. Okay, I gotta figure out which one is behind. Okay, so we got a picture of Sulu. So is Sulu gonna come up on the other screen? You don't rob a bank or in the getaway car. Has a flat tire. Okay, so now check off. Okay, I've got to pause. I've got to pause the one that's on. Okay. I paused the one that's on the stream. Just sent a man down in a high-stakes poker game and told him to bluff. Oh shit, I think I paused the wrong one. No, I didn't. Okay, Sulu just sat down in the chair. There we go. Acting Captain Sulu to Shuttle Bay 2. Okay. Tells the lieutenants to lose the red shirts. If this thing goes south, there can be nothing tying him to Starfleet. Okay, I gotta pause it one more time. There we go. They just got shot out into space, and they're headed to Qaplain a shuttle. Because surely that won't come back to bite them. Okay. Take care, Continuum. You don't have to be sorry. You got to go now. Of course I don't mind the teasing, Continuum. I never mind the teasing. Well, I don't mind the light teasing. Yosef says, what are you... No, nobody's teasing me, Mama Pray. Yosef says, what you're watching is behind. You paused it twice, Bird of Prey. It's okay. We've got it set up now. Number one sci-fi, how come Carol Marcus lied? Because she didn't want to be, she didn't want anybody to know the Admiral was her father. John Street says, Bird of Prey, when looking at Into Darkness, and the next and only one they make, TMP looks like the best Star Trek movie. But do you think she is hotter than Burnham? Of course I do. I don't want to marry Burnham, Thomas. Sean Moore says, Bird of Prey, Carol Marcus is clearly Kurogan. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. Are you really going to do this right now, Kirk asks. Horror said, if this volcano, you didn't talk about it. We didn't care what would happen if you died. Don't drag Kirk into this. But she's right. No, Epic, I don't want to marry Burnham. That is fake anti-Trekker news. Uh, he admits he joined with Admiral Pike's consciousness to experience death. That sick bastard trying to feel someone else's death. No, you didn't feel it exponentially the day your planet died. Don't try to tell us that because your planet died, you personally feel what it's like to die, Spock. He's honestly he's pulled the dead planet. That my planet got destroyed card. He's playing it. Number 1 sci-fi is Bird of Prey. How many torpedoes are beamed into the Vengeance when Khan is in charge? I don't remember. But are they torpedoes? Thomas Potts' Bird of Prey. It was on your live stream yesterday. Anyone could see it. I don't think it was. Might have been reading somebody else's quote, but clearly it wasn't me ever saying that. So now they're being chased by the world's ugliest Klingon ship. And Spock says they're not going to fit. They're going to fit. Sci-Fi Nation's Bird of Prey. Spock and TOS felt it was another Connie was destroyed by the giant space amoeba. So yes, that's technically a canon thing. What are we talking about? It's not Harry Mudd's ship. Spock in a TOS felt. Spock and TOS felt it when another Connie was destroyed. Oh, he felt it. Horror's gonna go talk some sense into them. I can't rewind, Joseph. That would completely screw everything up. They're taking the ship from the Mudd incident. So Star Trek Beyond uses the same ship that was used in one of the Mudd episodes. That's the first I've heard. I hadn't noticed. I believe you. I'm surprised. Number 1 sci-fi. Spock, with the help of McCoy, armed the torpedo, detonated, and caused a chain reaction of all 72 torpedoes. What torpedoes are we talking about? Peter Quinn says, I'm going to have to go, Bird of Prey. Thanks for all the company and all. Take care, Peter, and feel better. Just for our own sake, we have not yet hit the halfway mark. I'm here to help you, says Uhura. Wesley says, I have to get ready for work. Have a fun day. Take care, Wes. Qapla, thanks for coming. The torpedoes they use to store Khan's crew. They're not really torpedoes. And we see these god-awful Klingons that would only be worse in Star Trek Discovery. Because you care about honor, and this man has none. And there's Khan firing at him, and Uhura stabs the Klingon with his own ugly, stupid dagger. These aren't even Klingons, so I don't really care what happens to them. The Kling-Orc transition was well underway. They are torpedo housings modified to hold people in cryosleep. But they're not torpedoes. Torpedoes have warheads. These have none. Number one sci-fi says they are the torpedoes that were modified. I understand. Okay, I get it now. They look like torpedoes, but they're not torpedoes. So how can you detonate torpedoes that have no warheads? Shroom was a bird of prey. I was in a chat on Twitter where I said Anorax, Year of Hell on Voyager, was one of the best Star Trek villains, and suddenly videos featuring said villain appear. Videos featuring said villain appear as suggested vids in YouTube. Interesting. Just shoot down a ship with a hand weapon? Sure, why not? So it was Khan who was helping them the whole time. If we didn't know already. How many torpedoes? $72. He surrenders. On behalf of Christopher Pike, my friend, I accept your surrender. And he punches him in the face a few times. But he doesn't go down. He even knees him a few times. It just keeps pissing him off. It just keeps punching him. T-Berg says, Bird of Prey left you an idea, good sir. Please check after the stream. Qapla. Qapla, T-Berg. Is it Discord? Tubian says, Bird of Prey, I forgot Into Darkness had Klingons. Should they have been smooth-headed? Since this is set in the TOS era. They really should have been. No, they shouldn't have been, because Khan didn't happen yet. If we accept what happened in Star Trek Enterprise... Oh, wait, did it happen yet? Yeah, I guess that should have happened as it did. Yeah, you're right, they should be smooth-headed. They should be smooth-headed. What happened in the Enterprise era, which was before the timelines diverged. So yeah, there you go. Movie is invalid. The entire movie is invalid. Number one sci-fi's birthday. The torpedoes are beamed to the Vengeance for real torpedoes. They kept Khan's crew in the cargo bay. Okay. Now it makes sense. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, this movie is worse than The Rise of Skywalker. Mr. Miles says Bird of Prey, oops, sorry, I didn't check to see if you were live. It's okay. I saw it. I just couldn't answer right now, Mr. Miles, but thank you. Sci-Fi says Midnight's Edge After Dark. Add me, J-cification on Twitter so you have the right one. If they're still here. You don't have to apologize, Mr. Miles. You can. I'm not anti-trekker. I don't get mad at people who Skype me. Thomas is Bird of Prey. These aren't Klingons. They're called Blingons. Well, they look Klingonkish to me. Strong with Bird of Prey, the different looks to the Klingons bothered me at the time. But as the virus was being treated, the ridges would have been reforming. I was authorized to end you. And the only reason you are still alive is because I'm allowing it. Hail birds! Hail Sparking Nude Podcast! Qapla! Midnight's Edge is just passing through, was lurking, Mr. Miles. Very cool. It says, Kirk has a conscience. Convince him of the truth. 231746111. Coordinates not far from Earth. If you want to know what he did, go and take a look. Say, give me one reason. He's like, I can give you 72. They're aboard your ship. They've been on all along. I suggest you open one up. And now we're back on Earth, I guess. Are those the aliens from Alien Nation? So Scotty's there at the bar. Why is his stupid little friend there? He resigned too? So Kirk calls. The communicator works from Kronos to Earth. And sending Scotty over to look at some coordinates. I will consider that an apology. Are you out of your corn-fed mind? Good reason to pop open a torpedo because he dared you to. Don't agree with me, Spock. It makes me very uncomfortable. Logic. Rock Saus's Bird of Prey, this movie is worse than my latest video posted to Anti-Trigger Channel this morning. I didn't see it yet, Rock Solid, but I doubt that. Joseph's Bird of Prey, Sporking News Podcast. Want to know about your favorite Star Trek moment? Oh, well, my favorite Star Trek moment, it's when the Bird of Prey uncloaks in Star Trek 4 and stops them from shooting the whales. And the alarm's going off on the ship, and they're turning, like, they just turning the wheel forever. Like, the faster they turn the wheel, somehow the faster the ship turns. I don't know. Or old whaling vessels made like that? The speed at which you turn the wheel is how fast you turn the ship? I doubt it, but, I mean, that's the only logical conclusion I could draw. But that's my favorite. That's my favorite Star Trek moment. Christine Chapels. It's Memberberry. Who's this shuttle? Prep to fly. This is the best scene of the whole movie. Turn around. It's too dangerous to open the Enterprise. And Kirk turns around. Turn around. Did that get in the video? I don't know. It was probably not. It was such a short scene. I hate that goddamn view screen. I hate it that it's a window. You're nearing to bridge. Captain, can you hear me? Sporting News, I'm a casual Star Trek fan, but what was your favorite Star Trek? Okay, there it is. Sorry I missed it, Sporting News. To make sure I read your comment, if you put in @BirdoPrey5, it highlights. And then I definitely read your comment. Luckily, Yosef caught that. Yosef's Bird of Prey, you're least, if you skip every second word, the message is different. Oh, my least favorite? Oh, my least favorite Star Trek moment. Probably, that's a lot harder. That is a lot harder question. One scene keeps jumping out at me, but I'm gonna just say it's the entire, it's the whole sequence in Star Trek The Motion Picture where a wormhole is opening up because there's an asteroid in their path. And even though they're moving at warp speed, somehow the asteroid or meteor or whatever it is doesn't seem to be moving all that fast. It's just there in front of them, and they've got to blow it up. But it should have been, if they were moving at warp speed, it should have hit them faster than they could have seen it. That entire sequence of them going all slow, and the camera and them having trails, that would be it. But Mr. Miles just donated $2 for Super Chat and got Kissing Dax. Well done, Mr. Miles. Well done. First, Mr. Miles claims first. You couldn't have gotten a better one. And when you do it through Super Chat, that's like a 1 in 30 chance to get Kissing Dax. Whereas if you do it through Streamlabs, it's only 1 in 5. So, well done. Well done, Ms. Miles. However, as for the only reason I debate it as being the worst moment in Star Trek is because that's ignoring all of Star Trek Discovery. Every moment of Star Trek Discovery is the worst moment in Star Trek. So that's how. Well, actually, excuse me. Also, the short tracks. All the short tracks are, except Children of Mars, are the worst episodes, the worst moments in Star Trek. If I had to pick though what I consider the worst piece of scripted entertainment of all time is the entire short track Runaway. The very first short track. The absolute worst piece of garbage ever created by human beings. Thank you, Yosef. Zabes' Bird of Prey. The cellular service between Kronos and Earth is outstanding. But does Kirk have to pay roaming fees? Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Roxanne's Bird of Prey. You doubt my video is better than this crap movie? No, I doubt it's worse than this crap movie. Actors' Bird of Prey. This should have been your thumbnail. 50,000 views. Guaranteed. Yeah, but first, since this is going to be unlisted as soon as it's over, it really only matters for the 2.5 hours it's going to be live. And I prefer they all have a common theme, the thumbnails, than having Carol Marcus in her underwear. Epic Beards is Bird of Prey. Why is Michael Burnham your favorite? She is not my favorite Star Trek character. She is my least favorite, perhaps. Number 1 sci-fi is Bird of Prey. The USS Vengeance has a big V cut into the saucer section. I hadn't noticed. Robert Hammer says Singing Spock. Yes, Singing Spock is pretty bad too. But I actually think Runaway is worse. Stromore says Bird of Prey, your Star Trek dislikes are like the opening sequence of Office Space. Yes, every episode of STD is the worst moment of track. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to mute the mic for 1.5 minutes. You guys know why. And I'm back. We got a lot of con exposition. Zabes' Bird of Prey, just make them all Carol Marcus in her underwear. All the thumbnails of all the videos. Uncle Remus is Bird of Prey. If Carol Marcus and Michael Burnham got into a fight, who would win? Well, it depends who's writing. If the Discovery writers are writing it, then of course Michael Burnham's going to win. If I'm writing it, then Carol Marcus is going to win. In fact, I think if most people outside the disco sphere is writing it, Carol Marcus wins. Number 1, Sci-Fi's Bird of Prey. Watch out for the coronavirus. It's now causing auto manufacturing to stop the production of new cars. Plus, I'm beginning to doubt the Olympics will be able to still go on. If they didn't stop the Olympics for the last big virus, I don't think they're going to stop it for this. Where is the Olympics being held? It's not in China. They'd probably just stop some countries that had big outbreaks from coming. I'm not asleep, goddammit. Springtime says, Bird of Prey, how's it going? It's going okay, Springtime. Oh, it's Japan, huh? The Olympics are in Tokyo. Yeesh. Yeah, I don't know. So Admiral Marcus has come in the vengeance. He's going to return Khan to Earth to stand trial. You talk to him. Superior intelligence. Roxanne says, I've never seen the Star Trek the Motion Picture trailer before just now. They call Kirk Captain, not Admiral. Well, I guess they didn't want to spoil the surprise. And the Rocinante donated $2. Thank you. Sorry I'm late. Here's some Shellix. Qapla the Rocinante. Thank you so much. Springtime says, why do you want to see Captain Kirk kill RoboCop? Number 1, Sci-Fi says, the anti-tracker just mentioned Bird of Prey that the coronavirus is halting auto manufacturing and probably soon the Tokyo, Japan Olympics. Well, if you're getting your news from anti-tracker, that's probably a problem. Yeah, the coronavirus. Yosef says, what are Shellix? Oh, shekels. My bad. Shekels, Shellix. It's just the Korogan anthem. Oh, Anti-Tracker says only Bird of Prey can call Shekels Shellix. Welcome, Anti-Tracker. So if we go to warp, we run the damage of seriously damaging the warp engine. Can we do it? Oh, he said, can we do it? Technically, yes, but, Sulu set costs for Earth. Punch it! That's much cooler than saying, make it so. You think you're safe at warp? Comms are down. They're probably being jammed. Dr. Marcus. He's saying, we're at warp, we can't catch up with us. And she's like, yes, he can. Why would you think a secret ship couldn't catch up with you? Wow. Firing while in war. Oh my God. All those poor people being sucked out into space while at war. And the Enterprise does a Daytona 500 spin. Major. He said, "Where's the damage?" He didn't ask how much. Major hull damage. Everybody on the ship is going to die unless you let me speak to him. Yeah, why didn't you let her speak to him? Sir, it's me, it's Carol. And then they stop shooting. Springtime's is Bird of Prey in the movies until Star Trek III. The refit Enterprise was Admiral Kirk's flagship. Anti-Trigger says Springtime, not true. Kirk was in fact a captain after the first scenes in the motion picture. Bird of Prey knows it, but he is pretending not to because coronavirus causes... no. Oh, she's being beamed away. It hurts. It hurts. It's the slowest beam in history. I guess she was running while being beamed. So I guess that's just something normal. You went rogue in enemy territory. No, all that I ask is you spare my crew. Please, sir. They'll do anything. I was never going to spare your crew. Bring the very slow to aim guns online. I mean, he did say target torpedoes, but then they bring up these giant, phaser-looking guns. Those are clearly not torpedoes. Power just went down. System's been reset. Someone in engineering. It's Scotty. Scotty. Guess what I found behind Jupiter? Beam me out. This guy just ran through those doors and then ran back through them. And it triggers his Bird of Prey. They were not sucked out. They were blown out. Fuck this again. And I thought I was the one that never paid attention to TNG. Number one sci-fi is his Bird of Prey. The Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said this week that the government would make utmost efforts to ensure the outbreak does not trouble the 2020 Olympic. Well, I'm convinced. Springtime's is Bird of Prey. Well, at least we know what would happen if the USS Excelsior was able to jump to warp after the Enterprise in Star Trek III. Zabes is Bird of Prey. Who let the Turtistani in here? I know. I thought YouTube had him blocked. Number one sci-fi says no. Uranus. Andrew says, but remember, I'm the jerk for saying most Starfleet admirals were dicks. It's not logical. It was a gut feeling. He has no idea what he's supposed to do. He only knows what he can do. That sounds intelligent, but is it? Yosef's is in English. The sucking and the blowing is confusing. It is, Joseph. Captain Track says it's right for me. And the Trigger says, Bird of Prey, so tell us, what do you think about Michael Burnham's butt? I didn't notice that she had much of a butt. To be honest, I think even Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, has a better butt than Michael Burnham. A vengeance is built solely for combat. Zabes is Bird of Prey, always with the sucking and the blowing. Oy vey. It's unfortunate that it recorded a black frame for 10 seconds. Kirk can guarantee their safety. He's like, you can't even guarantee the safety of your own crew. Anti-Trigger's yelling at Thomas. Says, what are you doing with the triple? With that tribble? With the tribble? He says, the tribble's dead. Rejecting Khan's platelets. Why was that scene there? I mean, I know why for later, but that makes no real sense. Contact with new Vulcan. Are you going to cheat, Spock? Captain Track, Michael Burnham's butt. I'm not gonna say that line because you guys are just you're gonna try to blackmail me with more fake news. But yeah, I would say it's better than that person in question. But only insofar that it's better than any guy's butt. And the Trigger says that's the dumbest thing. So McCoy just happens to have a dead tribble laying around, so he injects it. That is as sick as what Bird of Prey does to orphans. They have full weapons in 3 minutes. They've locked out the computer. Ships are aligned. All I said was that Brie Larson's was better than Michael Burnham's. That's not saying I liked it. I'm just saying relatively it's better. It's very wee. It's a very small door. Kind of like jumping at a moving car. Yeah, we know. And the Trigger, Bird of Prey likes Brie Larson, but because it's Marvel. It's a Marvel. You mad bastard. McCoy says, tell me this is going to work. And Spock says, I have neither the information nor the confidence. Real comforting. That's not why I like her, Anti-Trekker. First off, I was just marginally comparing her to Michael Burnham. I like her better. I would take Carol Marcus be above any of them. In fact, I would take Carol Marcus even above both of them at the same time. Springtime says the United Nations are going to make you get rid of your Brie Larson butt alter. I don't have any such thing. Number one sci-fi says, who is the hottest babe of all time? That is extremely tough to answer, number one sci-fi. Oh man, it changes all the time. I don't know how to answer that number one sci-fi. I mean, in Star Trek, I would say it was Kirstie Alley as Saavik. But in a more physical way, Lita. Yosef says, easy answer, my wife. Well, it's easy when you're married, then it's always your wife. Uncle Remus is Bird of Prey, F. Marry Kill, Brie Larson, Michael Burnham, Nichelle Nichols. I'm killing Burnham. I guess it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up on Brie or I'm assuming you mean young Nichelle Nichols. If you mean the old one, then I would just marry her now so I could get her money, and she'd die fairly soon. And the trigger, so Bird of Prey likes Brie's butt because it's changing all the time. Is that what he said? I did not say that. Springtime says Bird of Prey, just remember that you've made piss of the United Nations, the UN, you madman, not just the NRA, the UN. I don't know what you're talking about, Springtime. Just remember that you have made a piss of the United Nations, the UN, you madman, not just the NRA, the UN. Kevin Schoenfeld, Qapla says Bird of Prey, just got home. This movie pissed me off. A bug crawling in Chekhov's ear in the first Star Trek thing I ever saw. Kirstie Alley is the second. Yes, well, then that's Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. One of, if not the best Star Trek movies of all time. Editor Bird of Prey wants Nichelle to die. He said it. Oh my god. Welcome, Admiral Saval, Qapla. And there's Spock, real Spock. Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock. Oh, laughs her dad. I'm ashamed to be your daughter, and I have a different accent, so I do not appear to be your daughter. Deck 13. Mr. Miles is Bird of Prey. You said Michael Burnham and later said is the hottest babe of all time. All I have to do is remove the middle part. Yes, but that is creating fake news, Mr. Miles. How can you live with yourself? Jerome Morris is Bird of Prey. While in college, my flatmates and I had a shrine to Audrey Hepburn. Now, of course, I know better. My wife is the most beautiful woman. I love that amazing Latina. Khan Nulian Singh is the most dangerous adversary the Enterprise ever faced. Brilliant, ruthless, and will not hesitate to kill every single one of you. Is that really a fair description? At great cost. Yes, we defeated him at great cost. Springtime, says Bird of Prey. We are calling the UN about Karoga and Brie Larson Temple. The UN and the NRA will stop you. Number one sci-fi says, who's the worst babe of all time? Well, you wouldn't call the worst person a babe, so I'm not going to answer that. That's just cruel. Plus, it's constantly changing. Admiral Saval says, I've actually met Christy Alley in real life, and she's really down to earth. My middle school after Katrina hit the Gulf Coast. Really? Because she seems like she's a Scientologist, which I would say is the opposite of being down to earth. But that's good. I'm glad to hear. Tubian says, Bird of Prey, Scotty has just killed a guy. Yeah, did he? He probably did. Sci-Fi Nation says, springtime, stop being a tattletale on Bird of Prey. Power's coming online. Aw, sassy girl, what's the matter? Should Captain Kirk have been given command of the USS Excelsior after Star Trek IV? Well, no, he got the Enterprise. He got a new Enterprise. He didn't want. So Kirk is trying to arrest Admiral Marcus. Get out of the chair. You better stop and think about what you're doing. Just shoot him. Shoot him on stun. Why don't you just shoot the fucking guy on stun? If I'm not in charge, our entire way of life is decimated. If you want me off the ship, you better kill me. You could have stunned him 2 minutes ago. Maybe if you had pulled the trigger, none of this would have happened. Kevin says he felt so ashamed for Peter Weller. Schromer says Sassy does not forgive or forget. You shouldn't have given away her jerky. Springtime says, but the FX people didn't like the Enterprise model. Oh my god. Anti-Trigger says, Bird of Prey, how much did you get to skydive wearing nothing but a thong and an island of Michael Burnham look-alike? It's not possible. Not possible. Number one, Spy-Fi says, Bird of Prey, Captain Kirk might accidentally disintegrate Admiral Marcus because quantum. Cry havoc and let slip the sassies of war. Let's play this out logically. Your crew requires oxygen to survive. Mine does not. Shromore says, John DeMarco, the motto of Kuroga is shoot 'em all and leave God, Emperor, Bird of Prey, sort 'em out. Just as they were probably guilty anyway, it was justified. Vulcans do not lie, the torpedoes are yours. Oh, no ship should go down without a captain. He was lying the whole time. Shield's at 6% because it looked like you took a lot of damage to the hull. The torpedoes, he armed the damn torpedoes. Aw, poor Khan. All he wanted to do was to better humanity. Hello world, it's me, Bird of Prey 5. I just want to let everybody know I'm madly in love with my beautiful... I'm sorry. I missed it. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm open up StreamYard. Spock's cruel. No, that's StreamYard. I need Streamlab. Son of a bitch. Hello world, it's me, Bird of Prey 5. I just want everyone to know that I'm madly in love with a par of beautiful women. Michael Burnham and Brie Larson are my new love partners. Every night we all snuggle in my hospital bed and make sweet, sweet love. To be completely honest, that would actually be great, but that's not likely to happen. I mean, to be banging two famous actresses every night? And is that supposed to be embarrassing somehow? Because I fail to see how that's supposed to be embarrassing. Not sure why they have such deep voices or why they call each other Tyrone and Jim Bob, but love is love. Okay, well, now that is a problem. Springtime's is Bird of Prey. Joking aside, the real reason we didn't see the Enterprise model in TNG as the USS Stargazer was because the model was hard to work with, and they only had to make a new model for Stargazer. Number one sci-fi's Bird of Prey. Was Khan a Kurogan? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't Turdistani either. He was Alpacan. He was Alpacan sci-fi. Shromore says, John DeMarco, exactly. Bird of Prey is very conscientious. It is a massive waste of public money to waste it on legal justice. Why pay the lawyers if everyone is guilty? Well, there are certainly people who are so guilty they don't need a trial. Admiral Saval said Frank and Fred. No, they were not Admiral Saval. Hold on, Scotty. No, I caught you with my other hand. Even though that's basically impossible, but everybody can hold themselves onto a metal bar with just 3 fingers. Oh, and he caught him with his hand. Chekhov, it's not even Spock. He's just human Chekhov is holding 2 grown men with his hands. And he's pulling them back up over a railing. How about this? Somebody just yell, computer, turn off the gravity. Anti-Trigger says, who are Tyrone and Jim Bob? I would assume there's somebody you made up, Anti-Trigger. They sound like Turdistanis to me. The ship is now falling. Super Chekhov, indeed. Bird of Prey 5, 2 grown men with his hand. Yeah, I did say that. Sci-Fi Nation, everyone can hold themselves up with 3 fingers. I said that too. Springtime's Bird of Prey Khan was a true American trying to kill RoboCop as Sherlock Holmes. No. We can't redirect the power. The ship is dead. No, she's not. If we go in there, we'll die. The radiation will kill us. We'll be dead before we make the climb. We are not making the climb. That door is to stop us from getting irradiated. Why is there even a climb involved? Why would you put this somewhere where you had to climb? Aww. It's spiraling down. Almost like I had driven it. Miss Londell says, Bird of Prey, just be very careful with some of these statements. They're trying to get you to read so that they can record them. The juvenile actions of some of these supposedly adults is something else. Yeah, Miss Londell. It's quite obvious what they're up to. Tubian says, Bird of Prey, they have quantum strength. Indeed. Kevin says, Bird of Prey, you must not have seen some of those Russian videos. Which Russian videos are we speaking about? Springtime says, Bird of Prey, just remember that we all loved Brie Larson before Captain Marvel. Sci-Fi Nation says, Bird of Prey, the trailer from the Trailer Park Boys made a fake Russian movie called From Russia with Love Bone. Now Kirk is kicking the, the dilithium holder into place? I don't know. But certainly that doesn't seem like the best way of going about doing it. Number 1 Sci-Fi says, I have a bad feeling about someone kick-starting the engines of the Enterprise. Yeah. Sharon Morse's Bird of Prey, Chekhov downs a bottle of vodka just like Popeye with his spinach and gives crazy Russian super strength. Is that what it is? Yes. Sci-Fi Nation says there's an Uber X style video of an abandoned nuclear power plant. Looks just like the warp core of that Enterprise. That's cool. And we see the Enterprise rise above the clouds. Kind of like it did in the first act of the movie. It's a miracle. Oh, his goddamn seatbelt. You better get down here. Better hurry. It's almost the exact words. You better, Jim, you better get down here. Better hurry. The only thing is that it's not McCoy saying it. The decontamination department is not complete. The door is locked. Flood the whole compartment. The ship out of danger. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey, where is there a space big enough to hold that contraption Kirk is kicking? I don't know. Springtime Bird of Prey, instead of reviewing Babylon 5, just review Trailer Park Boys. You know, Trailer Park Boys is not my thing. Sci-Fi says, what's an Uber X? An Uber X is the more expensive version of Uber. It's a nicer car than an Uber, than a regular Uber, I think. I'm not sure how Uber works. I don't know why Uber X would have been mentioned now that you mention it. Kevin says, Bird of Prey, they just always screw over. Oh, wait, Uber Black is the more expensive Uber. Uber X is just the normal Uber. Kevin says, Bird of Prey, they always screw over Bones in the JJ movies. How do you choose not to feel? Kirk and Spock weren't even that close at this point. Dumb scene, says John DeMarco. Well, they got closer between the two movies. Springtime with Bird of Prey. Is it still illegal to rob Uber? I'm asking for a friend. It's probably still illegal to rob an Uber, though it's just under the actual regular theft laws, not necessarily the Uber laws. Oh, Sci-Fi Nation says Bird of Prey. I said Urbex. Urbex is an urban exploration, and you said Uber X. I didn't know Urbex was urban exploration. I'd never heard the term before. No sleep break yet, Sci-Fi. I'm proud of myself. I've been up, although there's still, like 20 minutes left in this thing? They could have ended it here, and we know that Kirk died, and then they could have brought him back at the beginning of the next movie. And now, Khan! Set destination, Starfleet headquarters. Number one sci-fi is who knew the Beastie Boys could destroy a swarm of aliens? I know. Oh my god, all these people are looking at this starship headed right for them. Yeah, maybe you should start running. Or, I don't know, call for emergency beam out. Jesus Christ. I wonder how many people are actually being killed here. Look at those buildings come down. This is going to be, honestly, the death count here is probably worse than 9/11. Search the enemy ship for signs of life. Sue says there's no way anybody could have survived. Well, honestly, it looks like a lot of people could have survived because the ship is pretty much intact. I'd be surprised if he's the only survivor. Anti-Tracker says, Bird of Prey, I would pay real money to see you as an Uber driver. You can have Uber, Uber X, Uber Black, or the new Uber Death. He just jumped 30 meters. I think he might be a synthetic rogue, a human synthetic, whatever the hell. I think his name might be Dodge. Springtime says, Bird of Prey, do you still need a driver's license to be an Uber driver? Because I don't think you do. It helps. It helps. Miss Lundell says, Bird of Prey, an emotional response by a Vulcan, shaking his head. Rest in peace, San Francisco, says John DeMarco. Notice how Spock is diligently able to not step in all the poop. They need to digitally add the poop to San Francisco. Oh, and you can just casually jump through glass. Because that's a thing. Especially when the glass should be aluminum. Transparent aluminum. Why are there cars? Why are there cars on the streets? Holy shit. How did I not remember that there are cars driving down the street? Oh my god. Oh my god. There are cars. What the fuck? And buses. There are cars and buses on the streets. And crosswalks. Dale Stafford says, Bird of Prey, you don't have to worry about all those people near Starfleet headquarters. Dr. McCoy can bring everyone back to life now. Yeah, not if they're incinerated, says Kennewick. Springtime, look at that, look at these cars. Springtime says, Bird of Prey, why are the ship in Star Trek so big now? Because they made them bigger. I don't care about the ship size. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me that there are cars driving down the streets in San Francisco. Number one sci-fi, I'm sure that they still have trolleys in San Francisco as well. Maybe they would have trolleys, but there shouldn't be cars. Cars should absolutely not exist. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, what's worse, this spaceship crashing or Speed 2 when the boat crashes through the town? That is a tough one. But I'd say this, because I really don't give a shit about Speed 2. Stromor's con moment about to spring forth, Bird of Prey. Ah, and shakes his fist. Bird of Prey. Abrams! And shakes his fist. Yes. Carlos's bird of prey, where do you want the cars to drive if not on the road? Miss Lindell says, don't forget the damn tribble Bones uses to revive Kirk. Well, I didn't forget about the tribble, Miss Lindell, but I honest forgot about the cars. And Dan 23 says, yeah, but at the beginning in London, there's a red bus. There's a red bus? Son of a bitch. Captain Trax says, Joseph, this is going to be my last time on this movie for a while. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. That's why I forgot a lot about it. And Into Darkness, Beyond is going to be even worse because I probably haven't watched that since it came out on DVD. He needs Khan alive. Why can't you get a lock on either of them if they keep moving? You were able to lock on... Chekhov was able to lock on a woman in Free Fall. Now you're going to tell me... not a woman. On Kirk and Sulu in Free Fall. And now you're saying that he can't get a lock on beaming them up because they're moving? How many shots does it take? Maybe tell him you need him alive. He got enough blood on his hands. There we go. It was a few frames of blackness. Oh, well, Bones is saying, don't be... Oh, well, let me wait for it to catch up. Don't be so melodramatic. You were barely dead. He was out cold for 2 weeks. He synthesized the serum from his super blood. How'd you catch him? I didn't. Spock is there. Take the credit. You saved my life. Uhura had something to do with it too. Springtime's is bird of prey. My thing is that, for example, the Omega class destroyer from Babylon 5 is 1,700 meters, and it's also an aircraft carrier and a battleship, and JJ are just ships. I get it, Springtime. I don't care about the size of the Enterprise, as long as it's not filled with useless dead space. Carlos is bird of prey. Where do you want the cars to drive? I read that. Sci-Fi Nation's bird of prey because that was Chekhov at the transporter controls before. He can do this. Joseph's bird of prey still think the eye removal was too excessive. I do. Number one Sci-Fi's bird of prey. Is that the same bed you have Kirk is using? It's not. But it's kind of funny in that almost every other movie, non-future movie, it is a Hill-Rom bed, which is very similar to the bed I'm on. TN23's Bird of Prey, yeah, I haven't watched Beyond since it came out on DVD. USA got turned into the Hunger Games districts after World War II. After World War III. Her 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations. To boldly go where no one has gone before. Captain on the bridge. Carlos's Bird of Prey. I think that the D would be the size of the J in these movies. Purring like a kitten. Dr. Marcus is there. Was she there in the next movie? I don't remember her into Star Trek Beyond. A mission of this duration has never been attempted. Admiral Saval says, wasn't Into Darkness released before Nimoy's death? It either was released before his death or his part had already been filmed because he's in it. I believe he died before Beyond. Yosef says she was not in Beyond. She was pregnant with David. Is that why? They're doing the original TOS ending music, but then they had to add to it, of course, to fit in all these extra names. Yeah, Carol Marcus is only in this film. And Joseph says it's the headcanon that she's pregnant. You know, it could be. It's not the worst headcanon. But who's the father? Who is the father? It's not DJ Odyssey, I'll tell you that much. Let's see. I got a text message. Breaking news. Uh-oh. Breaking news from Kurdistan. I'm sorry, Mama Pray. Breaking news. Kurdistani scientists have captured the first image of the deadly coronavirus. And it's terrifying. Haven't we already seen the first image of the deadly coronavirus? Let's see what this first image is. Oh, son of a bitch, it's not even showing up on my computer. Well, I don't have any way of showing it, Anti-Trigger. If you want to Skype it to me, you can Skype it to me, but I can't get it from text message. I'm not going to type out a whole URL right now. Shrelmore says, I know I pasted this earlier, but there's a few more here. After the live stream, could you guys check out my sister-in-law's video? She's singing a cover of Alessandro Sanz. Thank you, Shrelmore. And yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yes, Sassy. We're good. So next week, guys, is Star Trek Beyond. And then we have freedom to do whatever the hell we want the following Saturday. I'm going to try to put up a poll on birdofprey5.com where you guys can choose through several movies. This way you guys feel like you're empowered in some way, even though it's really just the movies I choose and you just pick the order, I guess. Okay, so Anti-Trigger sent me a link. I'm going to show that picture, and then I'm going to be signing off for today. Assuming this picture meets with the Kurogan. It's not even working. The link's not working, Anti-Trigger. You just sent a link to your timeline, Anti-Trigger. There's not a link to a picture. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can just go to your Twitter. Maybe it's there. Anti-Tracker. Yeah, okay. This is we've seen this picture before. We've seen this picture before. And it's not even showing up. Okay. Well, you guys are going to be disappointed. You guys are going to be disappointed. There we go. There is the picture of the so-called coronavirus photographed for the first time, even though this picture was available about a week or two ago, and it was fake news then, and it's fake news now. It is still fake news. Anyway. Where okay. Coming back to the chat. Springtime says after Beyond Fee. After Beyond Fee. I think you hit the enter key too quickly there, Springtime. Springtime says after filming Beyond, Anton, the actor who played Chekhov, died. Yes. Yes, he was crushed by his Jeep Grand Cherokee. It is a sad day that all Jeep owners do remember. Tubian says anti-tracker in Beyond. It's mentioned that Ambassador Spock died, sort of as a tribute to Leonard Nimoy's death. Yes, I remember that. And Captain Trax says Bird of Prey, screw anti-tracker and his links. Indeed. Sci-Fi Nation says looks like a homemade Valentine. Oh, the coronavirus. Dan23, I don't want to see that as I'm eating cake. Joseph says, real good news, coronavirus was detected in the urine, so it will get into the water. Oh, Jesus. But Miss Lindell says, coronavirus picture is not funny, quite juvenile. Well, that's not, yeah, well, it's debatable. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to do a Sunday fun day and get back to playing Besiege, one of my favorite games of all time. They just released the final level, and I'm ready to destroy Besiege. It's a game on Steam. I think it's on sale for $4.99 right now. If you try, it might still be on sale if you want it. It is a wonderful game of destruction. Your literal goal is to destroy each level. So I love it. It's my favorite game. And I've been waiting for this last level to be released for I don't know, 6 months, a year. It's finally there. So that's going to be good fun. And then Monday we're back to bed life. Bed life. Yeah, so Monday we're back to bed live. So that's my plans. I don't know what time tomorrow because a lot of people stream on Sundays, and I try not to step on too many toes. It might be later in the day Sunday. I'm really not sure. Probably be later than earlier. Let's put it that way. So good night, all. Qapla, Sci-Fi Nations is great stream as always, bud. Live long and alpaca, everyone. And that's a good closing line. Good. Thank you all for coming. Qapla. Farewell from Columbus, Ohio. Farewell, Mike Richards. No sound on credits. Sorry about that. Thank you, Yosef. Sci-Fi Nation. Thank you, Sci-Fi.